Welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. Today we are going to do our first customer jobs. We have two jobs, and the first car we're looking at is the 1992 Katagiri Tamago. Now, not all the cars are real cars. I think obviously licensing issues stop all the cars being real life cars. Don't forget, if you're enjoying the series, to drop a like and subscribe to not miss any content. So for this car we need to change two brake calipers, a brake disc and a brake disc ventilator. It is basically the brakes. Poor brake performance is the reason for bringing the car in. Sounds fairly simple. It's not a very nice looking car, the colour's not fantastic, but who are we to judge? Now, put it on the lift, inside the garage, and off we go. So this is fresh off finishing our first story mission. And talking of story mission, I didn't realise every story mission you complete, you obtain a case. Now the case has 5 cards, you pick 2, and it has bonuses. So the first bonus is an extra 51 XP, that levels us up to level 2, and we get a bonus barn location map. Now the map, we've not even looked at barn locations and how we get to them yet. I'm not even sure we've unlocked them, so we'll save that for later. In a later episode we'll do our first barn find, but we've got an extra level of XP, which gives us a skill point, our first one. Now I am-denied of what we should use it for first. You know, we could improve the speed we unbolt parts, we could increase the speed we move, or how quick we mount and unmount things, and we can cut the time to examine a part down. And straight away I thought, the 5% discounts on parts you buy, because we're not fixing anything, we haven't got the upgrades to fix any parts of the car as of yet, we're saving £10,000 for that. I thought the best thing we can do to save us some money now would be the 5% discount on parts. So that is what we're going to spend our first ever skill point on. Next time we will probably look at something that speeds things up. Obviously the parking is the next thing, but the discount on parts is a big thing for us. Now, considering we only need to do the brakes on this car, we need to find out whether it's front or rear. We don't need to replace any liquids or take any liquids off, because there's nothing, we're not touching anything like that. It's just the brakes, as I double check what is required. As I said previously, I do want to go above and beyond on some cars. I don't know about the bonuses. I need to have a look into whether you receive bonuses for doing more than it asks. If you don't, there's no point. If it does, then maybe we should look at that. It's just making sure it's worthwhile. Straight away we can see the brake caliper isn't in a very good condition. So we'll take this off. We need a little spray on the nut there, and the brake pads themselves. We don't need to change any brake pads actually, it's just 2 brake calipers, and the brake disc I think is okay. Just try to have a closer look to see. We'll take the brake pads off and we'll have a look at the brake disc, but I think that's actually okay. I don't think that needs changing. The big thing to pay attention to is the percentage parts need to be replaced. That's important, because if you obviously go under that and you put a part back on, it won't count as being achieved. So we've added the brake caliper to our shopping list. We'll go back to our computer and we can buy our brake caliper. I haven't taken the old stuff out of the shopping list. I need to do that. I need to be more organised with our shopping list, I think. So it should be 75 credits, but because of our discount it is 71 or £71. And that's it, we've bought it. Now, I'm just going to get rid of all the stuff we don't need. We can even take the brake caliper off. We've gained the one we need. So this is on the front right we need to replace. As I say, I don't think this is the right brake pad to brake disc to be replacing, so we're going to put it back on. The brake pads, again, according to the job sheet, doesn't need replacing. They are low, but they're not excessively low, not red. Brake caliper, new brake calipers with an old brake caliper cylinder, but again, we're not doing the extras. We probably, like I say, I want to in the future, and probably when we do our own car, you do everything, but I need to look at whether it's cost effective. So that is one brake caliper replaced. We just need to find one more now. as I say, this is the first of 2 jobs today, customer jobs as well. But just to confirm, we have fixed 1 brake caliper, brand new part on the car. First one is done. And it is just finding the ones we need to change. You can probably look and see. So this one looks dodgy. It's very rusted. Looking for a tyre. So it does give you visual reasons to double check things for amount. I would guess that brake disc needs changing. Brake caliper, we'll take that off. Brake caliper, I don't think needs doing. The brake pads obviously don't. But I believe this brake disc ventilated does need changing. Looking at the state of the part. There we go, brake disc ventilated again. It's in the orange. It's not red, but it's in the orange. And it's below the percentage needed. Everything else looks the minimum okay. I could have saved myself some time, to be fair, and bought the parts we needed in advance. We kind of know what we need, but I didn't. So front left now, we just need to put the brand new brake disc ventilated back on. There we go. Brake pads and the brake caliper. So we replace the brake caliper on the front right, and on the front left we are just replacing the brake disc. And that is it. Tyre back on. Nicely done. So these jobs today are fairly quick. I think the labour intensive side is just finding the parts we're replacing. That's the labour intensive things, I would have said. The actual jobs themselves don't take too long. A bit of a WD-40 needed here just to get the tyre off. The tyre nuts are a little bit rusted, and you can see, looking through the tyre again, you can see the caliper underneath isn't in a very good condition, and it's red on the bottom left. So that's the one we need to replace. We don't actually need to take the brake pads off, because I don't think the disc needs to come off. We are double checking it. If you take it off, it tells you the percentage they are. I didn't need to do all that, to be fair. I could have just left the brake disc and the brake pads on, because I only need to replace the brake caliper. But I was just double checking things. I didn't want to miss something. There's the brake caliper. Find that. Discount is there. Perfect. Back to the car. And we can now put that back on. So I believe we're just looking for 1 brake disc now. That's all we need to replace on the car. And that's what I mean. These jobs are fairly quick. They don't take a massive amount of time compared to the story car that took us quite a while. Had a lot more to do. These story missions, to start with at least, they're small fixes. And again, it tells us exactly what we need to change. As time goes on and as we get further into the game, it won't necessarily tell us what needs doing. It will give us a problem, suspension, brakes, something like that, and we have to then test it to find out what the issue is. So it does change as you go further forward. It gets harder in that respect, and more time consuming as well. So the final tyre to look at, the right rear, and straight away we can see the brake disc needs changing. I keep getting too confused. You can see it's not in a good condition. Brake caliper is okay, but this will be the last part we need to replace. We just need to take the brake pads off, and then we can replace the brake disc, and that's it. That's the last part of this car. That's how easy it was. There is a downside to the cars being this easy to fix. Obviously our profit is going to be lower. This is why the discount on parts is important. Ideally, if we could fix the parts, it would cost us a lot less and the profit would go up. But that will come in time. I'm trying to save money. We need 10,000 credits to get the extension to the garage, which will then allow us to install machines like a lathe, workbench, things like that. They all cost money on top of the £10,000, but we need the £10,000 first. We also need money in the bank to fix the cars up that are coming in. So it's a kind of balancing act between spending money and not spending money. Something I would also save us time is a tablet, which just means we don't have to keep going back to the computer. That's £500, and we will get that later on in this episode. But that is the first car. The Katagiri Tamago is fixed. And it even tells you poor great performance, £300, 320 credits. We get a task bonus of 39, a job bonus of 79, the total payout of 438. Now I'm not too sure how the bonuses are worked out, but we'll sell the parts obviously that are no good. They're all gone. We get some money back there, and we can now finish off the car. So as we go to finish the car, we started with £5,177. The cost of parts was £272. So in total, we will make a profit of £166. Now it didn't take us long, so you could say that profit is good. It's not very much. To save for this £10,000 extension, £166 profit isn't fantastic, but we are expecting it to take time. In terms of spending money, we are going to buy ourselves a tablet. Now, it's an investment, it will speed things up. We don't have to leave the car to go and buy the parts we need. So we move on to the second car of the episode. This is a second customer car, and this is the 2000 Hinata Kagura SX. Yeah, and this car has one issue. It has a suspension that feels loose, but it also tells us what we need to replace, and it is an inner tie rod. That's it. It doesn't need anything else. Now, when I actually selected this as the next job, obviously we could have done the next story mission, but I thought, no, we'll do a couple of customer jobs. I did think, well, you know, we might find a couple extra bits to put on, but then I was worried that the bonuses wouldn't give us the money back. So it is a simple job. Obviously we need to find which rod needs replacing, but other than that, it is a simple rod replacement. It should be quick and easy. If you knew where to look, I'd assume this would be a 5-minute job. And straight away I'm guessing underneath car, because I think it's part of your suspension. I know it's part of your suspension, it tells you. We're just going to look for the inner tie rod. And you can actually examine the car in a lot of detail. There's an examination mode, which you can actually gain XP by checking everything. But I kind of wish I had done it, but we didn't. Instead, we noticed that the actual rod we need to replace is red. So that was a dead giveaway that that's what we need to replace. We did try and click it off, but it wouldn't come off. Although at this point we're still examining. But that is definitely the one we need to do. We need to lower the car down a bit. We didn't need it to be that high, really. We just need to take the front left tyre off, and that would actually give us what we need. But on examination mode, you can actually examine the car. You need to aim at certain points, so you can aim at the engine. It will take a couple of minutes, and it will search through all the engine parts and give you the percentages of what they all are, which would be helpful later. That's something we need to remember to do, I think. To try and take this off, we realised there was an outer tie rod we just needed to unscrew. Again, a bit of WD-40 there, just to get it going. That comes off, and this is our tie rod. That is the part that needs replacing. And as I said, that is it. It's very quick, it's very simple. We'll add it to the shopping list. We may not have even needed to take the tire off, to be honest. It was just to make it easy for us to get to it. And again, we were about to go to the computer. We don't need to anymore. We have a tablet. So we actually don't need to leave the car's side to get new parts now, which again, it just increases the speed of being able to do things. To be honest, the rest of the car actually looks in a really decent condition. It was just this inner tie rod. So in it goes, brand new part. We put the tie rod, the outer tie rod back in, do the bolt up, we can put the wheel back on, and actually that is job done. That's how quick it was. It was a simple job, one part. As I say, the downside to these simple, fast jobs, lack of money. But that is it. I kept thinking there must be more, but there wasn't. It was as simple as, it feels loose, that is all that needs doing. So, it says there, 30 credits for the suspension, task bonus of 3, job bonus of a little bit more, and that's it. We need to sell the one part we took off. If we go to there, we can sell this and get some money back. It's not going to be much. 2 credits, yay! And that's it. So we will run through the numbers quickly. So we started off after the £500 tablet with a start amount of £4,843. The cost of parts, or part, was £26. So once we finish the order, we will make a profit of, and get ready for this, a whole £14. That's it. So, considering we bought the tablet today, today's episode, we've actually made a loss because we spent £500 on the tablet and we actually only made £180 in this episode. So quick jobs are good for quick XP, learning little bits and pieces. Like that was the first one we'd ever done of that suspension feels loose. But all in all, that's it. They're not worth financially doing, and all the cars on the job sheet do time down. So if you don't collect the job in time, it disappears. It's not that big a deal if you don't do it. But we live and learn. I didn't know it'd be that simple. I didn't know we'd only achieve that small amount of money. But that is it for today. That is our first 2 customer car orders done. Both quite simple jobs, brakes and suspension. And we're learning every day. That's the big thing. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.